Hey guys, welcome back to the Eclectic ADHD podcast. I'm your host B, and this is your co-host Dakota. Grab a comfy, get a cuppa, and enjoy the chaos. Grab a cuppa, get comfy, and enjoy the chaos. Happy Halloween, guys! This will be uploaded tomorrow. We are filming late on a Tuesday because I kind of forgot about yesterday. I'm not gonna lie, I have holiday brain.
I thought yesterday was Sunday.
Yeah,
So
neither of us were fucking prepared to do yesterday. So we're filming it today, and that is absolutely fine. So every mistake we make will be included in the clip because I ain't editing shit. I'm not doing it. Um, so I put up a question on the Instagram and I asked for your guys' spooky stories. I didn't get a single one. I didn't get a single spooky story. So we're gonna answer some questions that we got. And then there's one question that I'm going to do for our. This is going to be sort of a spooky storytelling kind of vibe session, considering it's Halloween. I would have gotten my Halloween costume on, but I'm missing half of it, so I need to go to the charity shop tomorrow and find a gold top. So bear with me. Okay, let's get into it. Let me find where was that. What's? Oh no, hold on. Are you in a relationship right now? Well, I don't know what to tell you, my dude.
joke's on y'all. We're figments of your imagination.
Yeah, he's actually one of my altars.
Don't. You're gonna start a whole argument. Don't do that.
Um, uh,
Yes, we're
can
in
you
a
please
relationship.
answer more? Fucking message more. I don't know.
Yes, we're in a relationship, but what a relationship is.
No. How many children do you want to have?
I'm gonna leave that up to you to answer
I
that.
personally, we have two kids already. They're not mine. I am a bonus mom. And I'm a little wee mom. That's what I am, a wee mom. Um, and to two amazing kids already, and I love them with all of my heart. But I do want two more. I want a family of four. I would like a big family of four. That's my dream goal. So those two kids, loved and cherished, and we'll add another two into the bunch at some point. His, internal clock is timing the poor old man. I love my granddad. It's fine. uh, okay, so this one is a deep question. Your partner cheats. Time to break up?
Ooh, there's many different ways someone can describe and define the word cheat. Like there's cheat, which is, they're going around sleeping with anyone who will give them the time of day.
Yeah.
Um, who just don't give a fuck. Then there are people who, I give you an example, emotional affairs, who don't really realize that they're cheating because emotional affairs are not something that's typically talked about. That's the super close relationship or close friendship that they have with people who kind of crosses a line. And we unfortunately know two people who have crossed that line. Um, but we're not gonna say any names.
No, no, we don't do that on this channel. Plus, it's none of our fucking business anyway.
Yeah,
So,
of course. So I
so
guess
it
it really
really
depends.
depends how you define cheating, and
Yes.
if you can come back from that. That is it. No one else can tell you it's time to break up.
And the ultimate factor in it, obviously, the person who gets cheated on, they have a massive say in it. But at the same time, the person who did the cheating also has an impact in it because if they don't decide they want to change, they're just going to do it again. And at that point in time, if they're not going to change, there's no point trying to work things out. you might as well end the relationship right then and there, because it sucks being the only person who tries to get a relationship to work and the other person doesn't give a fuck about it. So,
The only reason that we can have a say on this is because we have both been cheated on in past relationships.
yes.
Personally, if see, there's a lot of factors that really sort of define that for me. If it was in person cheating, like they'd gone and slept with someone else, that's complete. No, we're done. Goodbye. That's just me personally. I couldn't do that. I wouldn't be able to look at you knowing that you've been with someone else. If it was online, that's a different story for me because so many other factors come into play. But yeah, it really just depends on you. Someone said, gotten a tattoo. That's exciting. I love that. I did too. I did too. I don't know if you'll be able to see it on camera, but hold on.
Yeah, put the mic down. Come a little closer.
Oh no, because I just got fucking comfy.
Just lean forward a little bit.
You guys see that? It's a moon and 6 stars. My wire nearly went in my tea. It's a moon and 6 stars. There's a little bit of a story with this, right? So me and my sister went to Turkey for a week, which turned into a little bit longer of a trip, thanks to terrorists.
Turned into a nightmare. Be honest.
Turned into a fucking nightmare. So we were in the airport, right? And we were heading home and our flight got delayed. They didn't tell us why until our flight got delayed a day, right? And that was when we saw in the news that a terrorist attack had happened 50 minutes away from us in an airspace. So all airspaces in Turkey got shut down for a day until they, did their checks and made sure that there was no other threats. But anyway, back to this tattoo. It's a moon for me. The moon represents me. My sister got stars, which represent her. I have a big moon and little stars. She has big stars and a tiny little moon that represents me. I have 6 stars, which my sister so kindly pointed out are all the important people in my life. My niece isn't on there. So it's it's Dakota, his 2 kids, my dad, my brother, and my sister. I really should add another star for my niece. I feel like she is a little bit of an important part in my life, but here we are. But yeah, that's the story behind the tattoo. I absolutely adore it, and funnily enough, it also looks like the Turkish flag. Moving on. Which I actually kind of like that it looks like Turkey because then it's a reminder of that, the holiday. It was a good holiday. I very much needed it. What's the point in no sex before marriage? Fucking virgins.
The only way I can describe it as a former Christian, I was raised that you don't have sex before marriage. Obviously, I don't give a fuck. I've got 2 kids and I've never been married. But for me, the understanding that I got from it was everyone always wants to be able to see their partner at their most vulnerable position and most vulnerable state of mind. And that would classify as one of the most vulnerable positions you could ever put yourself into. You're 100% raw, that you don't know what you're doing. You're very confused. You're scared. You're nervous. You're 100% vulnerable. And a lot of people view that as completely opening up to somebody, completely letting them in and allowing them to be a bigger part of your life. For me, it doesn't make much fucking sense, but that's the understanding I grew up with. That it means you can be vulnerable with that person and that you're trusting them to not betray you.
I think the purpose of no sex, but ooh, what's on my hands? There's little black dots on my hands. Ooh. What's going on? Anyway, the point of no sex for marriage is ultimate purity. You're saving yourself for your husband because that's how God intended it. That's the whole point of it. Some people do it for moral reasons. They don't want to give away their virginity to someone who's not going to cherish it. If you marry someone, you know that they're going to cherish that. Um, I have only had sex with one person, and they are my co-host. I was never scared or confused. I knew damn well what I was doing, and I was excited about it. I was not scared. So I don't know where you got that from.
You didn't even realize we had sex until after it was done.
Okay, but okay, right, right. I that makes me sound like I have a hole instead of a vagina.
No, it's just the fact that I gave her zero time to prepare for it. Like, she was under the impression I was so physically exhausted from my flights over there that I wasn't going to do anything. And then the next thing you know, I was inside of her.
Yeah, that's so much information. That's so much
I don't
information.
have any other way to sugarcoat that, okay? To be honest, I
It
didn't
was
expect that to happen either. It just,
okay.
body took over, too exhausted to fight it off, and it just happened. What I didn't expect, what
First
caught
off,
me off
whore.
guard.
Second off, it was consensual, everybody. It was consensual. I beg of you, it was
We were, we
consensual.
were, we were
We
making
were
out.
making out, and
It
that's all
was,
I like my brain was prepared for that evening. Was just making out. I was like, okay, so we're just making out, it's fine. Nope. Nope. And then I had to phone my sister after it and, just process it a little bit. And when I mean after, I mean genuinely he had just rolled over. Immediately picked up my phone. I was ecstatic.
picked up her phone, got the fuck up, called her sister, called another friend, called her adoptive mom.
No longer.
No longer, by the way. But she just started fucking phoning people. I'm sitting there like, I rolled over, what, I really want a cigarette. And all of a sudden I hear, I just had sex. I'm not a virgin. And I look over, she's on the phone, standing there. Like,
Yeah, it was a lot to process, and that is far too much information for our viewers. But anyway,
so
are you an independent person?
it's an experience that I've never had before. I
Are
didn't know
you an
what the fuck to think.
independent person?
I'm gonna let you answer that
He
because
can be.
we both know I'm gonna lie through my fucking teeth.
I am not. I am an independent person. Um, in different situations. When I have to do things for myself, I am an independent person. But if I don't have to, I ain't.
Yeah, so
I'm a very codependent person, especially on my partner.
I am the ultimate independent person.
Moving on, I'm not even
I told you I'm
addressing
gonna
that.
lie through my fucking teeth. I am a
how do you
baby.
how do you deal with a partner who doesn't show affection?
I can't answer that because the
Why
only
not?
experience that I have, there was nothing I could do about it because it was her.
Mm. Yeah. Okay. I can speak about that. um, how to deal with a partner who doesn't show affection. Sit down with them and communicate how important affection is to you. I am a very affectionate person. I need physical touch. I need words of affirmation. I like doing acts of service. I like quality time. I like quantity time. I have all of the needs of a person who needs all of the love languages met with them. Pebbling is my biggest one. Um, So just sit down and explain the absolute like necessity that affection is to you and help them understand. And if they can't understand, then see where they're coming from and maybe get them an autism diagnosis.
And to give a little bit more of a explanation,
You don't have to.
no, I know, but I'm gonna give a little bit of one. The reason I cannot answer that is because there was one time I did experience a relationship that lasted 2 years that I did not receive affection. I received a lot of everything else, but it was not affection. It was not a loving, caring relationship. And what I would say I would do was not what was done because I did not have the ability to do it. Um, so that I can't give my 2 cents on that because I had the opportunity to do it and I didn't. So
I love you.
fucking better, bitch.
Lied. Do you have any plants in your room? I not living. Oh, I do. I have a cactus that will not fucking die, and I have a succulent that will not fucking die.
I have an
Um,
aloe vera plant in my kitchen.
that will not fucking die.
I haven't watered that bitch in over a year, and for some reason it's getting bigger.
Yep.
He's surviving
Um,
on willpower and sunlight.
okay, so this one is a long one, semi-long. It's a paragraph. Okay, and it's completely random. I'm really not sure what we're meant to make of this. I read this first thing in the morning. I was hell confused.
Okay.
Okay, so story time, I guess. I was in high school and was sitting in the cafeteria where you wait for the bus. And earlier, there were these boys bugging me about my headphones. I wear headphones because it gets so loud in the cafeteria. Skip to a few minutes later when my friend sits down with me and she brought her boyfriend, gasping face, gasping face. I was worried he was going to be mean. You know how people are when they catch you, when they catch the feeling you're on the spectrum, until I saw him smile and say, I like your headphones. Cute. When I tell you I lit up, I mean like a lamp. Be- Completely made me forget the mean boys who and girls who were calling me autistic like it was a crime. I'm sorry that happened to you, and autistic isn't being a crime. I'm autistic, and I would rather be autistic than anything else. I think it sheds so much colorful light on the world. And just because we're a little bit different doesn't mean that we're wrong.
My little
And
autistic fuck.
shut up. Um,
My love you.
I love you.
When you find the right person, in regards to the person who sent that, when you find the right person, they'll pick up things and they'll do things like my love you. It's
Big
her
Epins.
big Epins. Ungies. There's a lot of things that the right person will pick up your mannerisms and the way you say things and stuff like that because they understand that a lot of times you can't help some of the stuff you say. She, especially when she's exhausted, goes, I'm big Epins. Very big Epins. And that is her way of saying she is sleepy, she is tired, she is grumpy, she wants cuddles in bed. All at once, and it's 2 words. And I know that because I understand that she has, I want to say, a hard time with some normal activities and functions in everyday life. But really, it's because she views it a little differently. And so for her, it's simple. You just say, I'm Big Ebens. And it's my job to understand what that means. Um, when she shows me something that and her face is just lit up, if I don't give it a compliment, she'll hate that thing forever. She'll never love it again. And a lot of times I give her over the top compliments because I like watching her level of bright smile go up a notch with every single compliment. By the way, did I ever tell you I love that mushroom hoodie?
I don't know what you want from me. I'm never getting rid of this.
I know you're not. I'm gonna buy you more.
Really?
Yeah, you're just so cute in it.
I want all of
That
the mushroom ID.
I know
You
you do.
dick. Also, I wanted to show something I got on holiday, and he looks so stupid, but I love him. um, go back. There we go. I would like to introduce everybody to Mr. Bingle Bongle. He is a dinosaur. Look at his little legs.
You're so cute.
I love he is my emotional support dinosaur, so I will take him wherever I go because I'm not embarrassed by him. No one looked at me weird in the airports carrying him, so he's now my safe toy to take on the bus anywhere. The next question, and this is the last one, which is why we're going to go into a story time. Can you tell us about Granny Stephen and her origins? Boy, can I. So, Granny Stephen originated from 84 Braywick Road. I was in my room and I had a punching bag. It was filled with sand in the bottom and it was leaning in the corner against a wall, so it couldn't fall like left or right or forward. There was no reason for it to because it was leaning against it. And it wasn't a light punching bag either. And I was sat on my bed. No one opened the door. No windows were open. Fuck all. And I'm an avid horror fan, so I know how this shit works, right? That punching bag falls straight down, right? Unprovoked. I'm on my bed, like 5 feet away from it. There's no fucking reason for that shit to fall. The first words that I screamed because I got a fright was Stephen. That was the word. And I gave Stephen a telling off. And that was that moment that I named that spirit, right? Stephen. And Stephen had done a lot more in Braywick Road. He was very bold in Braywick Road, as in he would move cups onto the floor, back up onto the counter. He would throw shit across my room. It was madness, right? So we moved house from Berwick Road, and I'm a little sad because I don't think Stephen's going to follow me. We moved from Berwick Road to North Road. And I'm a little sad because I don't think Stephen's following me until one night I'm in my bed in North Road, and this cup goes from my nightstand, right, my little bedside table, goes like this is how this shit goes. It was here, and it moved like that and set itself on the fucking floor. I watched it because it was right next to me, and I was like, oh, oh, Stephen, is that you? And it was at that moment that I was like, okay, no, I've watched The Conjuring. Fear fucking feeds this shit. I'm not scared. So I just started having conversations with this little bitch. Um, and Stephen had followed me. It was indeed Stephen. And I grew very close to Stephen in North Road. I'm not gonna lie. He gave me warnings. Like my two abusers are still in Shetland. And he gave me warnings. Like if I was doing tarot readings, he would pull out a card in the deck and he would, tell me that I'm going to run into some trouble today. And I would often run into one of those too, like little subtle warnings that could be classed as a coincidence or not, but it was substantial enough for me. And then I moved into my first house, Hoofields, and Stephen had followed me there too. And I got a couch, the couch that is here currently, and it was actually a medium that helped bring the couch into my house. And he stood in my house and was like, "Whoa, there's something here." And I was like, "Yeah, that'll be Stephen. Don't panic about him. He's very chill." And he was like, "No, I don't think Stephen's his name." And I was like, "Okay." And he was like, "Can I just give you a quick like reading because this is something?" And I was like, "Absolutely. I'm open to all that. I'm spiritual myself, please." And he proceeded to tell me that it was actually a little old lady that was following me around, and that she had problems in her stomach. Um, and she told me to, and I had a friend at this time that I was growing increasingly close with. Um, and he told me that she told me to stay away from the person, or what was it? What there was someone specific she said. What did she say? It was like stay away.
It
Don't
was
trust the
don't.
person
It
with
was
don't trust the person with the short dark hair.
yeah.
That's what it was. And my brother has long hair, my best friend has long curly hair. Um he was the only person with the short dark hair that has ever come into my house. Um and it was something. I immediately knew it was that friend, so I cut that friend off. I granted there was other reasons, so I'm not just a bitch that listened to a crazy ass spirit and a little crazy ass man. I
And just for the record, it was also like 2 weeks later before she actually cut this person off because she didn't connect it at that exact moment who it was, but she had suspicions and she was waiting to see what those
I needed
suspicions
to make
were.
sure that I didn't cut off a perfectly good friend who didn't quite deserve that, but he did. He was
Should cut
an
that motherfucker
energy
off sooner.
vampire. I can't explain it any more
Running
than
out of
that. He
time.
was any, but I'm not done.
We got 10 minutes.
Okay, that's fine. Um, and it was from that moment on I thought it was Granny, and this person told me things about myself that I didn't talk about online or anywhere. He told me that I have had two miscarriages. He told me that I have problems with my stomach. Um, and those are things that I don't tell really anyone about. It's very personal and private to me, and the two miscarriages still hurt me quite a lot. So the fact that he knew that solidified his statements because that is fucking insane. Um, so from that moment on, I started calling this little ghost that followed me Granny Stephen. Um, and my friend, shout out to my, I don't know what to call her, my soul sister. Shout out to my soul sister. She is witchy like me, and we are the polar opposites of each other, but we are identical. In everything that we do. And she came over and she's like, "Why don't we try and contact this motherfucker and see who he is?" And I was like, "Absolutely." So she did a tarot reading, started pulling things that got closer and closer to someone I know a lot of things about. And it turns out that after her having no inclination, because I knew immediately as soon as she pulled all the cups cards, I immediately knew who it was. And she was like, "Don't tell me who it is. I don't want to know, and I don't want to obsess over that during the reading and that mess up." I was like, "I won't." So I didn't. And then we got to the end of the reading, and she was like, "It's someone very close to you who really wanted to be there for you." And I told her that's because it's my granddad. My granddad wanted so much to meet me. He died 3 weeks before I was born. And it's been him following me ever since Berwick Road. And I helped him move on because I'm a death witch. That's what I do. I help spirits move on. So I helped him move on. And I've always felt a very strong connection to my granddad. Like, I have his cowboy ties, I have his dad's bail bonds from the war, I have everything because I'm obsessed with my granddad. And now I know why, because he was following me, he was trying to show me. And that's who Granny Stephen was. It was my granddad. And that's the story of Granny Stephen. Granny Stephen is no longer here. So I hope you enjoyed my little spooky storytelling moment. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. It wasn't, it was more of a fun one. I've always wanted to tell the Granny Stephen story because everyone close to me knows it, but I love telling it because it's so bizarre
And for
that it
those
actually fucking
who
happened.
and for those who, are obviously going to come out with it was your imagination, it didn't happen, so yada yada yada. I knew nothing of this prior to my visit to Scotland. And I had seen, and I have seen firsthand a lot of the stuff she's talking about.
You also heard the footsteps at night, and you were freaked the fuck out by
Oh,
that.
I looked for any. I grabbed something ready to start fucking swinging and clear. It went through the house, clearing room by room. I was
And
like,
I was just
"Fuck
sitting
no,
in bed, chill as
uh."
fuck. I was like, it's just Steven. I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, I fucking. There was not a single fucking person in the house. Every window was locked. Every door was shut. Every locked. I mean, there was nothing. No one in the house, but you could clearly hear the footsteps. And at first
Yeah,
I
it
thought maybe
was
it was like the upstairs neighbor and shit like that. And then I found out that the upstairs neighbor, there was no upstairs
there wasn't
neighbor.
one.
There what no one was living there at the time I was there. Somebody did move in a couple weeks later, because I was out there for about a month. Somebody did move in about 2 weeks later. But yeah, I've firsthand seen it first at North Road and then at the
Fields.
Whofields.
Yeah.
So I have firsthand, yeah.
Yeah. And I have another ghost story if anyone's interested in hearing it. And that was out at his house. I woke up and there was a fucking tall old man staring at me, and it was fucking terrifying. Not good vibes from that house owner. Not very good vibes. Okay, that was not Granny Stephen
So
vibes.
I will give some information on that. This house was built in 1963. I found
That's
out the
Dad's
exact
birthday.
date. Yeah, I found out the exact day this house was built. 1963. And there have been multiple owners, but the after one of the owners, no, there's no indication, no telling, no nothing about what happened to the owner. All we know is that the house sat empty for 10 years. No one moved in, no one did anything to it, and then it was auctioned off and bought by somebody else who lived in it, did some renovations and remodels in it, and then they sold it off too. Um, no one knows what happened to the guy who had it before those 10 years. There's no record, there's no name, we don't even know who owned it. There's no record of somebody owning the house, but prior to those 10 years.
Hmm.
And there was no even record about who owned the house during those 10 years or how it even
That's
got
insane.
auctioned off. So there is, and this is one of the oldest houses in the town. Um, it's according to the town information, this is classified as one of the founding homes for the town. Which is a bit weird, seeing as the town was not it was a town long before 1963, but I think it was one of the first people to have moved into the town, which caused it to start growing.
Hmm.
But no telling on that. So this
Anywho,
house is pretty old, and there's suspicion that whoever it was, you know, obviously probably died in the house or died with something left in the house. There's no telling. Because a lot of times when people renovate stuff, they don't pull things out. They don't like pull nails out of the walls and stuff like that. They typically just hammer them in and paint over it. So
time check.
3 minutes.
Okay, we're
So
gonna do our closeout now.
yeah.
But yeah, fucking creepy that I woke up to an old man staring at me. That, and I have video fucking evidence of noises coming from his house that sounded like demonic fuck off screaming. And he called the police. And I have that on my Snapchat memories if anyone wants to see it, because he was at fucking work and I was on call.
I was
It
at
was
work.
fucking terrifying.
Yeah, I was at
Anyway,
work.
thank you guys so much for chiming into this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like, leave a follow, leave any sort of love you want to give. Um, till next time.
Had to put everything down to dance.